Hi, I'm Sally and this is my tutorial for my forget-me-not or daisy flower. For this you will need 144 bands for the petals and 26 for the centre. So let's get started. First we are going to do the petals. I'm going to use two colours for mine. I'm going to use sort of a peachy colour glitter band and purple. So taking a single band, goes over the end of your loom, and then taking two bands from the first centre to the second side peg, and then the same on the other side. And then we're going down once on each side. And then in the centre we're going to go down twice, still with double bands. And then I'm going to change colour. If you want to do two colours on the petal, then swap now, or if you're just doing one solid colour like I've done on this one, then just keep going with the same one. And we're going to take these ones and we're going to go from the side fourth to the centre fifth, so it's like this. We're here. We're going to do the same the other side. And then we're going to finish off the centre using double bands twice. So when it's finished, it should look like this. And once you're at this stage, you can add on a cap band. So taking a single band, we're going to wrap it around 3 times. Like so, and then adding in the horizontal bands. So you're going to do this one just here above your cap band and do it like a diamond shape. And then taking your first colour and you're going to make a triangle shape just above it. Once you're at this stage, you're ready to loop it up. So taking your hook, going inside the cap band, pushing it back with the back of your hook, and taking the top 2 bands, going around the peg and looping them forward. Then taking the next 2 and looping them out to the side, whichever side it needs to go, to make the teardrop shape. So this is the teardrop shape here, and it should look like this. If they do look odd, then just take them back and try them on a different peg until you find the one that it should be on to make this shape. And then we're going to loop up the side up to the top. So going inside the horizontal bands and ignoring those, and just taking the bottom 2 bands, so like this, up one side, and I'm going to go up the centre and up the other side. These glitter bands are quite fragile, so just going to be careful not to break any. So there we go. So it should look like that. And once it does look like that, if you take your band that's here, go in through the top pin, find the single band at the bottom and pull it up, take it around the pin, so you have it on your hook, and then just pull this first band over the second and tuck the other one underneath. Give it a little tug. If you do have jelly bands, or like these glitter bands, sometimes they don't knot up so well while they're still on the loom. If you just tuck it on the underneath of the peg like that, and it will help to hold it while you unloop it. So you can take it off your loom now. Whichever way you find easiest. So here is a petal. Make sure it's tight. sure you have the right shape. You need to push it in at the centre, so do tuck under a little bit. And then this band here that you've used to tie it off, if you find which side you want the back to be, take your hook and slide in between a couple of the bands, like so. Take your band, hook it around your hook, and then just pull it through, and then just repeat until that band is hidden, because we won't be needing that anymore. Like that. And there's one petal. You will need to make another 5 of these, so if you pause the video and make your other 5, and then we will start on the centre. So to make the centre, I'm going to use gold, and I'm going to place double bands and just hang them over the top peg. Now we're basically going to make a starburst. So using double bands, I'm going to go round in a hexagon shape. So this sort of shape. And now we're going to use double bands, and we're going to go from the centre pin and out to each of the outside pins, all the way around. So double bands again, all the way out. There's a broken band there. And push it down in the centre, because you will have a lot of bands on there. And then taking a single band, you're going to wrap it around this pin 3 times. Just make sure it's not too tight, but equally not too loose. If it's too tight, you'll have problems getting your bands through. So here is the centre of your flower. I'm going to attach the petals. So taking your petal, where you had the cap band that you wrapped around, for mine it's the second colour, you just take your hook and pull it out so it's here. And then this is going to go around each of the 6 pins. Oops. So I'm just going to wrap it around the pin like this. And you do the same with the other 5 petals. So hook through, find the cap band and hook it round. And there's lots of different colour combinations for this. You do it lots of different ways. Done that one the wrong way around. There we go. And if you'd like to share with me what you come up with, which would be lovely to see, I am on Instagram at @SalIsLooming. If you'd like to tag me in your photos or anything you make from any of my tutorials. It would be lovely to see. So once your flower looks like this, you're ready to loop up the centre. So taking your hook, going in through the cap band in the centre, pushing it out of the way with the back of your hook, and taking just the top 2 bands You may need to hold the cap band on and then looping it to whichever peg it's come from, which isn't that peg, it's that peg, I think. Doesn't quite look right somehow. So take a smaller hook and sort this out. So that's pulled up 3 bands instead of 2. They've got a bit mixed up. So I'm going to remove the cap band just for a second while I sort this out. The bands have come off of the centre peg. I'm just going to put them back round and start again. And if you're doing better than me at this stage, then just carry on all the way around. Okay, so get band out of the way. It does make it a little bit difficult to see which bands are which, because there are so many. As if you can hear next door, I've got their music on quite loud, so if you can hear music, it's coming from next door. And I don't know what's going on with this today. That's twisted. Right, I think I've sorted it out now, at long last. Okay, if your bands do get a little bit tight around any of your pins, to stop them, to help them stop breaking, if you just take your hook and just run around the inside of the pin like that, it'll help to loosen your bands up. And hook them all around. And I will catch you up in a minute, but these bands are very slippery and they do break very easily as well, so they aren't that great. And I'm not sure what brand they are. I know they're not Rainbow Loom bands. I can't remember what they are. They're very fragile and very slippery, but they do look nice, so just have to make do a little bit. Right, so if you're at this stage, you're ready to loop up around the edge. So finding the peg that you put your last band on, if you go in through the petal, pushing the petal back as if it were a cap band, and finding the 2 bands, top 2 bands, and then just bringing them round very carefully so as not to break them. And then the next one, it's going in, pushing the petal band back. Now this bit is very tricky. The bands are so tight on these pins, so you might want to take another hook and just go around the peg just to loosen it. And these bands are being very disobedient today, as you can tell. So I hope your bands are better behaved than mine. They keep coming off the pins and not looping and breaking. That hasn't broken, it's just pinged back. I find it useful as well to have different sized hooks for when you need to find the odd cheeky band that's not doing as it's told. And I think I've lost one somewhere along the way. Where's that gone? It's there. Found it again. There we go. And then again, in. And I'm sorry if you're now waiting for me, in which case you've near enough finished. And if you're struggling like me, then that's fine too. We are nearly there. It's the bands. Unfortunately, if you have stronger bands, then you'll be finding it a lot easier. This one here. Pin on that. And there we go. So, it's a bit of a struggle, but we did get there. So once your flower looks like this, and it's all looped up, out from the centre out, and all around the edge, you're ready to tie it off. So taking the two loose bands through the pin at the top, and finding those bands, pulling them around and hooking them on, and then making a slip knot, same as we have on the petals, giving it a little tug, and that is your flower finished. So I'm going to remove it from the loom. Straighten it out, tug the petals until they lay straight, and then this band that you've just used to tie off with, if you want to keep it as a charm and you want to hang it, then leave it, otherwise you can tuck it out of the way, the same as we did for the petals. I think I might leave mine for now. So there's your flower. Hope you've enjoyed making it, and if you have, I do have other tutorials. I have another flower, a clematis flower, and I will be hopefully doing a carnation once I've just made it a little bit easier. It's a bit complicated at the moment, and a double flower as well. If you'd like to like this tutorial, subscribe and comment. That would be lovely. I'd like to see if there's anything else you'd like me to make, any other flowers or any other designs. And I think that's it. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.